I love the way the Savior often teaches with contrasting visuals. This week in section 29, you're going to see how he is indeed a God of abundance, and he has all these blessings and gifts to offer. And even what we were just talking about, how nothing is wasted and every hair of the head shall be restored. He is a God of abundance. And he also teaches us about the adversary and how he is the exact opposite of that. The adversary is one who pulls away and depletes. And what's particularly stirring about these descriptions of the adversary is you see his subtle, sneaky strategies. He is someone who depletes you, and he doesn't want you to know it. In fact, in section 29, you learn a little bit more about Satan's beginnings and about the third of the host of heaven who followed him and his strategies, and how they're going to play a role in creating opposition on this earth. So all of that's kind of woven into section 29. But I really wanted to help my kids understand how Satan depletes and how he does it in this really subtle way. You read it all throughout the Book of Mormon, but I wanted to give you a cool way to teach it with the Doctrine and Covenants. And it's called the disappearing chocolate bar strategy. So you're going to take the printable. I will tell you, you can try this with an actual chocolate bar. I have done that many times. In fact, just yesterday, Violet and I were trying to pull this off. It is so much harder with a real chocolate bar, both because of size and because chocolate bars don't break in the right places very well. Trust me, the printable will make your life so much easier. The printable has a few different options. So first you're going to see a big one. This prints on one page. This is just one piece of it. It's almost like a puzzle. And for us, we mounted it on a thin cardboard. So I just used like a mailer, like an envelope mailer. And I added the pieces to that so that it's easier for the kids to manipulate them on a table-like surface. So there's a big one that you could demonstrate for a class. There's also some that your kids can take home. So these are the ones that wrap around, you know, the kind of chocolate bar that you buy with s'mores. So that the printable wraps around that one. The idea with this one is that your kids could watch you do it in class, and then they take this home and they can do the trick themselves, because they can just cut out this chocolate bar. It has the guides on it. On the back of the printable, it has the cheats on how to pull off the trick, so that your kids can then like take this home from class or from seminary and teach it to somebody else. I also was thinking, if you're in a primary situation, or maybe you have a lot of kids, like you're at a youth conference and you're trying to teach this concept, you could demonstrate it big on the board, and then you could send everybody home with one of these teeny tiny ones, because these are all designed to teach you a little bit about agency. This one you can't cut and do the disappearing trick with, but your kids could eat it, delight in it, and then tell their parents or their families about what they learned in class. So you have a lot of options in the printable. But the concept is really simple. Basically, you're going to show your kids how you can take away pieces of this chocolate bar, but it still looks full. This is what the adversary does to us, you guys. He likes to trick you into thinking that your life is full and happy, even though he is depleting power and hope and joy from your life. He just does it in a way that we often don't notice. So first, you're going to take ideally the big one, and you're going to put it out on the table. Let your kids put it together like a puzzle, or they can use the cheat sheet on the back that will help them put it together in the right arrangement. And then you're going to show them how you can take pieces of this chocolate away, and then it still looks full. So first you're going to start with just one piece. The strategies are kind of listed for you on the printable, but it's actually really easy. You're just essentially taking whatever is on the right column out of the puzzle, and then you're sliding all the other pieces over to the right and then replacing something over on the left. But I walk you through it on the printable so you know exactly which pieces to move. In fact, on the printable itself, if you look really closely, there's little numbers kind of etched into the chocolate so that you can see which piece to move when. But basically, you're going to shift some pieces over, and that will give you one piece left over and still look like a full chocolate bar. Now, if your kids are savvy and they go to read the words that are carved into the chocolate, they'll notice something isn't quite right. Even though it looks like a rectangle, you can tell the words don't line up quite right and something seems off. I think this applies to the adversary. Oftentimes he tries to deplete us of some kind of joy or peace or rest, and something just feels off. This is our indicator that we should look closer at his strategies. We should try to figure out what is missing and seek it out. But if we don't, he just keeps going. So this is when you're going to take 3 pieces of chocolate away. Now granted, it will not be the same size chocolate bar as it was at the beginning, but if you're not looking closely, it still makes a rectangle, still pretty big, still looks like you got a full chocolate bar there. You're doing the same strategy. You're going to take whatever is in that very rightmost column, push it off to the side, and slide all the other pieces over to the right, and then replace what goes on the left. And your kids will see, nice little rectangle of chocolate. Even though there's 3 pieces on the side, it seems like a full candy bar. Same message applies, right? That you can still see that there's something not quite the same. You can see something is lost, but if you're not paying attention and you're not heeding the warnings, you'll breeze right past it and accept that smaller chocolate bar and think you're getting the full package. Then you take it to the ultimate level where you take 4 pieces away. You follow that same process. Take some off to the right, slide everything over, and replace what goes on the left. And that's when you'll see you can still, even though it's a smaller bar, it looks full, looks complete. And then take a chance to talk about the adversary. Let your kids explain how they've actually seen this play out in their lives. When has the adversary tricked them into thinking that they were going to get joy, they were going to get the full package in some shortcut way, and then testify about the Savior's strategy? He wants you to have every single square of that chocolate. He doesn't want anything left behind. And his strategies leave it intact so that you have all of it. What the adversary does is slowly deplete in the sneakiest way possible so that you think you're getting the full package until it's very obvious that you aren't.